Hello, good evening and welcome once more. Last time we talked about, I promised you actually that the next video will be exploring the concept of management. And so today perhaps to begin a series of those, trying to share with you my thoughts and understanding on the concept of management. And I wrote this book. It's called The Governance and Leadership Challenge in Healthcare, Volume 1. I wrote this book specifically with a target group of in charges of lower level facilities in this country. Those are centers 1 to center 3. But in one of the chapters of this book, I was trying to, because the key question here I was trying to explore is whether in charges are actually in charge. In charge is a title given to those managers of facilities at that level. But there's a chapter that I think it's chapter 3. It's chapter 3 of the book, where I was exploring the concept of management and trying to bring it to a more clear understanding of the target group. So chapter 3 says the in charge as a manager, concept redefined. By the way, if you've not gotten this book, it doesn't matter. The principles herein are almost cross-cutting, but more so if you are an in charge, a manager of a health facility, I would implore that you call on those numbers on that screen so that we see how to get you a copy. Now, chapter 3 of this book has a title, The In Charge as a Manager, a concept redefined. And of course, it starts with giving a good history of the management concept, but I want to read paragraph 3 to bring out the points that I want to put across in this video for us as we explore this concept of management. So, paragraph 3 is under the title Management or Administration. So I'll read verbatim. It says, typically to this point in time during the Industrial Revolution, it is more of administration shaped up as opposed to management. Now, when I said typically to this point, because I give a background of how management evolved right from Industrial Revolution to Ford's car company, the Model T vehicles there around 1913 when he developed the first assembly line and all. So it's that background that I mentioned here, that typically to that point in time during Industrial Revolution, it was more of administration shaped up as opposed to management. So it continues to say, you see, management and administration are not synonyms, although the two are often unknowingly used interchangeably. Administration, and this is where now I want us to focus today as we explore the concept of management, says administration focuses on today. And why do we start with administration here? Because before management came to be known as a concept of management, it was basically administration. So what this paragraph says administration then focused on today. It sought to get a day's job done and done well. Therefore, day-to-day operation aspects to coordinate and implement established goals, standards, policies, and or strategies took precedence in a typical administrator's function, or day as you would put it. It is process-oriented, that's administration, so to maximize short-term outputs. This is what preoccupied the Industrial Revolution at this point and moment in time. Technological improvement to maximize production. So what this paragraph tries to put across is that before we came to understand management as a concept we know it today, there existed what we called administration. And administration there as a concept focused on today, a day's job to be done and well done. And so it was just about improving technologies. Basically, to put it simply, it was about outputs of the day, daily outputs if you want to put it. But you listen to this. However, as time went on, taking advantage of new technologies, a different method to structure was inevitably required. Mark that. The necessity to deal with just not workers' output, but to link the entire factory toward a common objective began to be eminent. Out of necessity, there was certainly more that was required to maintain, but put more importantly, increase production. There was now need to look at the factory as a whole, focus on long-term goals, developing policies and strategies. In essence, there was need for top-level leadership to do planning, staffing, organizing, monitoring, supervising, leading, and problem-solving, plus decision-making. Put in other words, there was need for both operational and strategic aspects. This marked the birth of management as we come to know it today. So what did I want to pick from here? As we explore the concept of management, we need to shift away from the thinking of operational, day-to-day operations. Whereas management is linked to day-to-day operations, but a little beyond administration, management looks at not only daily outputs, it looks at the entirety of this institution organization as we know it. The challenge faced by some managers today is of a generation lag, still stuck in the typical administrative thinking box of running things. And I want us to mark the words running things. We need to do away with this box. This box has degraded the managers to mere campus keepers, as opposed to strategic thinkers for their institutions. As we explore the management concept, I'm interested in the paradigm shift from what we call administration to management. And this is what the last paragraph of this book tries to explain. That some of us as managers of current institutions and organizations, we still have a generational lag, thinking that we are running things. And yet the ideal management concept as we know it today talks about us running institutions, both at operational level, but even more importantly, on strategic level. So the key question here is, if you're a manager of an institution and organization, and you're trying to understand this concept of management further, how do you position yourself now as we speak? Are you still stuck in that generational lag of running things, of minding just about days' outputs? That there are those which are, make sense to you only. They're not bad, of course, but are they only your targets? Or you are also thinking about the strategic direction of this institution, managing the institution as a whole. I've talked to managers whom you would ask different aspects of their institutions they run, and they will always keep referring you to people and say, it's that one who knows, it's that one who knows. They have nothing on their fingertips about the organizations. Are you running outputs or you're running institutions? So as we explore this concept of management, I thought it wise that we first clear that, because it will give us a basis, even when we try to link management as we know it today versus management as we knew it in the 1990s especially, but also linking it and marrying it to what we call corporate governance. We can start to have a picture of what it requires of us to be a manager, to run current institutions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. God bless you.